All right, so we've gone through step one, two, three, and four of the success habits to power up your day, and the six things successful people do each morning in the very first 2 hours before checking their email and or Facebook. Now, today we're going to cover step five, your workspace, making sure your workspace empowers you. But let's review a little bit about the first, four steps. Getting ready for success was step one. Setting up your alarm clock earlier than usual. I'm gonna suggest that you get yourself an accountability partner, somebody that you may want to check in or meet at a street corner or something like this. A neighbor or something that you can go for a walk. That's having an accountability partner, somebody that you feel responsible to, even though you know that it's to help yourself, but it helps you get there. Go to bed earlier, making that a commitment, opening up your curtains before you go to bed so you make sure that it's smooth transition in the morning when the sunlight comes in, drinking a glass of water, exercising for 15 minutes, starting your day with a green smoothie. I had one this morning, and I really don't like the taste of them, I'll tell you the truth, but they're 100% natural. We put some celery in it. What is it? Cucumbers, and a green apple. I don't like celery, but I force myself to drink it, and it really does make a big difference. You're gonna feel it. Drink it fast. If you hate the taste of it, remember our taste buds work that we taste something after we're done drinking it, after we swallow it, then we have that flavor, the taste in our mouth. If you don't like it, drink it all at once, and that way you only get to taste it once. That's what I do. Anyhow, I just chuckle it down and I'm done. So anyhow, step two was feeding your soul. Read or listening to a podcast or a book in the morning. Practice a gratitude attitude. Use relevant affirmations. Ask a meaningful question every morning. Practice visualization. Do your planning away from your computer. Center yourself internally, and then making family part of your morning routine. Then we talked about number three. Step number three was putting together your energizing routine. And there, what we do is we look at we focus on those six essentials that we talked about: setting your alarm clock earlier than usual, getting up earlier the next day, opening your curtains, drinking a glass of water first thing, exercising, feeding your soul, and centering yourself. Then we talked about number four was your energized wipers, and the list was short but powerful. We did not focus on the negative, but we needed to acknowledge them so we can overcome them. So we talked about the seven things that are on that list, which was to identify the most distracting morning habits you have adopted through time, writing down your top three essentials, choosing one or more activity that inspired you or connect you to your spiritual core, considering choosing the one necessary daily chore you hate the most and doing it first and getting it over with. That way you have a great sense of accomplishment. Choosing one or more activity that stimulates your creativity, adding any other suggested morning activity that appeals to you, or subtracting the most distracting one. Now, today is making sure your workspace empowers you. So let's talk about that. You can probably hear a lot of birds chirping in that, and that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about here. So we've discussed so far, it's all about building your personal energy, your, listen to that. I love it. Focus, your creativity, and having more clarity in what you do. Now let's take a look at how to make your environment aids in helping you achieve a productive workday. Now, separate your home space from your workspace. I sometimes tend to take my laptop into the dining room, while dinner's being made or something like this, and I end up shutting it down and everything, or sometimes into the living room. Now I have you've seen pictures of my home. I have a table outside on one of the corridors, and then what I do is I sit there and I just work. But those are regular work hours. I just choose a different environment in which to work with. I don't inhibit the life time period, the hours that we have family time with my laptop or anything like this. So I have a very separate space. So here it is. It doesn't matter whether you work best on the patio or in your home office. Most experts agree that blurring the lines between your work area and your home area can add to overall stress, but it all depends. Listen. Oh, I hear leaves falling from trees and palm trees and the birds, but you hear them. You probably hear the chirping in the background. Anyhow, that's just what pretty much we're talking about. It is more important, however, to make sure that whatever you choose to work, it is a distraction free. And once you sit down to work, you do it. Here's Craig Newman. It starts every day on his stylish ergonomic desk, if you want to call it this, but do whatever you want. If you have to, shut the dog out, switch the phone to answer mode or non-answer mode, and disconnect from the internet if you can. If you have to, while you're getting some things accomplished. We talked about using Pomodoro and some of the applications that are available that allow you to shut down social media and things like that. I do for periods of time. I shut down my WhatsApp, which is the application that I use for SMS communication because I am worldwide, or Skype. I shut it down, actually log off, close down the email, and just open whatever it is that I am going to be focusing on for the next period of time, because I do set blocks of time. I use some of those concentration focusing music, put my headset on, and I just focus right in on whatever that task is that I have assigned myself for that period of time. So you want to do that. Okay, so make sure your workspace inspires you. Most people find that trying to work in a space that is cluttered seems to create clutter in their mind. Set aside a morning and reorganize your workspace, but think about it first. What is it you're using your best space for? What is the best room that you're going to feel the most energized to work in? Is there a different room that you can use? Perhaps that's going to help you focus more. Do you need to add something essential, a door, better lighting, or air conditioner, or a fan? Sometimes it's just a little hum of a fan that helps us to get into the zone and feel focused. Is there one or more aspect of your workspace that causes clutter to accumulate, like a shelving or drawer or an awkward corner or something? Does your workspace stimulate creativity? Sometimes, the workspace that we're in, we feel like we're trapped and we don't feel like creative. Does your workspace energize you to feel like you have more energy to really do the things that you want to do? So even if you're forced to stay in the same room or section of the house for your home office, don't put up with conditions that distract you or drain you. Take action. Okay, buy the new office chair, or stop wrecking that stops wrecking your back. Buy an alarm clock. If online digital alarms don't work for you, go and find the right shelving unit, one which gives you 2 extra flat drawers you so badly need. Here's one from IKEA. Okay, and you can order this online. I can give you the link here below if you want, if you ask for it. And then you can order it and put your shelf and have some drawers and get some things out of your desk if that's what you need to do. Okay, make a clean sweep of your office. Change it if it's really not working for you. Use a bulletin board or a dream board that you can easily see as you work. I got a bulletin board, a small one right next to me on my right side, which is my dream board. I put pictures there of things. I actually print them and put them there, cut them out of magazines. We got to do that. You got to visualize what are those things that you want. I keep a picture of my home here in Colombia in front of me all the time because it just motivates me to be here, be at peace. I mean, I came here, several months back with high blood pressure, and now I don't even take my pills and my blood pressure is just like normal. So it is the environment that helps you be a better person. Allow yourself one luxury item that's a personal symbol of success. For example, a beautiful painting you long desired, or fresh flowers. I mean, to me, it's my home. I just talked about that. Make sure you can see things that inspire, like affirmation or personal mottos or photos or goal objects you're retargeting. Again, make the environment work for you. Okay, get rid of anything that is not necessary. Relocate or donate, or dump it. Just get rid of it, And when you are finished for the day, make sure you take a little few minutes and you start planning the next day. Make a little note, little sticky notes, the long ones, the little rectangular ones, not the square one maybe. Annotate, 2, 3, 4 things that are your priorities for the next day that you got to get done. And then the last thing you want to do. Remember, I have that area that we've separated from our home environment. And so the last thing that you want to do after you make your list, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow, and then you shut your computer down, and then here it is. Shut the door behind you. Walk away, close it, leave it there. Okay? Because most of us have home offices, so that's what we want to do. You want to shut it, close, and just have that commute back into the living room. All right? You think about that. Tomorrow we're going to do the last step. Set yourself up for productivity. All right? Productivity first. That will be a tackling tomorrow. We'll talk about that then.